Hi, it's Canwell here and welcome to another video. In this video I want to talk about the 3 ways that rich men have an advantage in the dating game. So there really are only 3 advantages to being rich and wealthy when it comes to meeting and dating women. However, I gotta say from my experience, the advantages are very small because if you're rich, you still have to approach women, you still have to go and talk to women, and a lot of rich guys, they still can't do that. It doesn't mean just because someone's wealthy that they're all of a sudden going to be blessed with these great powers of confidence and boldness and strength. Oftentimes, the opposite is true. These guys have a lot of money and then they think it's going to be a magical fix, but it doesn't fix anything. In fact, it just exposes their insecurities and weakness even more, and then that sinks them into a greater depression because they realize that they spent all this time working towards getting rich and wealthy when actually it didn't fortify their mind, it didn't change their mind. That's why they say guys who come out of prison with no money, who are broke and have nothing, do infinitely better than rich men because they only have their game and charisma and confidence to get women. And that's what you really need. And there are only 3 ways that rich guys really have an advantage when it comes to dating women. The first one, and the most important one, I believe, is that men who have money and who are wealthy, they don't get stressed out taking a woman to an expensive restaurant. They don't get stressed out paying bills. They don't get stressed out about money. They don't try to alter plans to go to cheaper places. They don't stress out or blink or get upset if a woman orders a bottle of wine. And so that is something which is, I believe, the real advantage to being wealthy is that you're not going to get stressed out about dinners. You're not going to get stressed out about dates. Women notice how men react to paying the bill. They notice if the man pays the bill, but he looks stressed out. They notice if the man is upset. They notice if he tries to avoid going to certain places. So women pick up on this, and a lot of men will destroy themselves with anxiety and frustration and stress. I remember a good friend of mine, he broke up with a girl because he believed that she was just too expensive to date. She wasn't too expensive to date, she just wanted to go to places which were out of his budget. He didn't have a lot of money at that time, he wasn't working, and so of course every restaurant was expensive. Every place she wanted to go was expensive. So you can see how this can make a difference. The second way that rich men have an advantage in the dating game is that rich men have freedom of time. So they can meet more women because they have the freedom to go where they want, when they want. They can interact with more women because they're not bound by one place. They're not stuck in an office, for example. They're not stuck in a job where they have to be there 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. They have Monday to Sunday, and every day is like Saturday, and they can do what they want and they can go where they want. Having said that, a lot of rich guys work more than the 9 to 5, and so they don't get to meet any women. So this kind of cancels each other out. If you're wealthy and you have freedom of time, that is a big advantage. Now, the third advantage that wealthy men have, and I believe this is really only the last advantage that wealthy men have, that is they can, in times of difficulty, go on holiday and create space easily. Now, I've seen this situation a lot of times where a guy's dating a woman or he's in a relationship and things start to go sideways, and it's very important to bring space into the relationship to create that tension and keep it alive. The man doesn't have the money or the freedom to just pack up his bags and go on holiday, right? It's not working with my girlfriend, or she's being moody, or she's being difficult, and I need to get away, but I'm stuck in the house and I got to stay in the bedroom or stay in the same apartment as her because I don't have the freedom or the time to leave. Now, a wealthy man can just say, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm going to go on holiday. I'm going to go to Bali. I'm going to go to Thailand. I'm going to go to Spain. I'm going to go to Brazil. It doesn't matter. He can just go. He can leave. He can up sticks, pack his bags, and go on holiday for 2 weeks, and then come back. And then there is natural space built into the relationship, and he has the freedom to do that. Whereas men who don't have that freedom, it's a little bit harder to bring in space. So if you want to know more about this, I highly recommend you get a copy of my book, Atomic Attraction. It's based on over 120 scientific studies and 40 real-life case studies, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Have you experienced this yourselves? And don't forget, I do phone and email consultations. You can book a consultation with me on my website, develofattraction.com.